Welcome back to the Mountain Morning Show, where I'm feeling a little foxy. That
Yes,
had to
you
be
are.
said, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I'm joined by Kathy Donnell of Wasatch Mountain State Park, and apparently we're talking about crepuscular.
Yes, very
animals.
good. A lot of people can't say that word. So
I
that
can-
is
I
the word
can
of the day.
Say it once.
Crepuscular animals, yeah. What do you think that means?
So if I understand it correctly, they like the early evening and the early morning.
Yeah, so if you think about twilight. So crepuscular in Latin means twilight, basically.
Oh, is that right?
So yeah, and twilight is just a half an hour
So-
before sunrise, and we have a picture of it somewhere, and
Yeah.
a half an hour after sunset.
Okay.
So as soon as we start getting some light, which happened at 6:34. So when I was on my way here, I was like, oh, it's twilight, you know.
Yeah,
And
it's crepuscular.
yeah, so, and if you think about the animals at that time,
Yeah.
and then it's also
There we go.
just about a half an hour after sunset. So
I also feel like we should have one with Bella and what's his name, the vampire.
yeah, maybe.
The other Twilight.
If you Google
The
Twilight
other
to try
Twilight.
and understand it, it will bring up all of that stuff.
Yes.
So you have to look a little further
Yeah.
for that stuff. But if you think about, like, especially when you're driving at that time, the animals are very, very camouflaged at that time. So it's even harder to see them when we're just getting some light. So it's a
true.
time to be careful. So today sunrise was about 7:02 and sunset is about 7:54, and it's just going to be getting longer.
So the hour before, about 6 o'clock, pretty sketch.
About a half an hour.
About half an hour.
About a half an hour before and
Okay.
after sunrise and sunset. So yeah, and so why would we care about animals coming out at twilight?
I don't know.
What are we doing?
We're usually eating.
Or waking up, right? But if you think about
I don't know, Twilight.
the-
I'm thinking of Twilight, but yeah.
I didn't see those series. So
Well, no, I'm just thinking about like in the early evening. That's about the.
yeah.
We might
well,
be
and
having a
if you think
backyard
about,
barbecue
right,
about that
right,
time.
yeah, exactly. So we're out more often.
Yeah.
During the weather's getting warmer slowly, right? And it's
Yeah.
getting better. So we might be up earlier exercising because it's a little bit lighter. We might be out longer
We
with
might
our
have an
kids
animal
playing
encounter.
baseball, right? And so we may have that animal encounter. So, not that that's a bad thing.
No.
You know, when I'm here talking to you, I'd love to make people aware of things that are going on around us because we kind of forget. We get into our routine and we're just go, 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 and we forget to look around and go, hey, we live in a great place. And guess what? We might see some animals.
I saw one yesterday.
So-
I'm pretty
oh,
excited.
yeah?
I
What'd
saw
you
a
see?
coyote yesterday.
Oh, nice. Where'd you see that?
Just right over behind the tech center, and he's been kind of hanging around a lot lately.
Yeah.
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 I watched him for a little while. In fact, I even talked to him for a minute.
Did you?
Yeah, he looked
Did he
at
talk
me.
back?
No.
I bet he did talk back
did
in
regard
his own language.
He did regard me,
Yeah. Yeah.
and then he decided to move on.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're okay. I'll keep.
Right?
Yeah.
It was kind of interesting.
Well,
it was fun.
and so that brings up another point. If we're aware that they're there, we know that this is spring. They're having their babies. They're, you know, so we need to give
kinda
them
wanna
their
be left
space,
alone, yeah.
right? And we don't want to interrupt their you know, daytime routine. Basically, they might be crossing the roads more. They might be feeding more. You know, so just to be aware of them really is really important. And if you really watch, I mean, it's hard to see animals at night, like when you're driving along 40 and a deer or a moose is out there, right? It's hard, but it's really hard to see them that time of day, before and after. So just be really, really conscious of the animals around you. So what are those kind of animals?
Well, fox.
One would be fox.
Yep.
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 And
Lots
I
of
have
smaller
my bats
animals.
and my lizards earrings on.
Lots of small animals.
Yeah, raccoons,
Chickamoose.
mice, yeah. So, and why would they do that? What is the benefit of animals, the deer and the moose?
Sneaking
just
up on prey.
Okay, so if we think about being quiet, camouflage, right?
Right.
Now, so actually predators will tend to see better in the daytime or in the nighttime.
Ah.
Nocturnal or diurnal animals tend to be predators, okay?
Okay.
But so animals that are out during that twilight time, they the camouflage is a little bit better, so they're gonna be able to hide better.
Right.
They're gonna rest during the time, the broad daylight and the nighttime. They're gonna be resting, so they're gonna be conserving their energy, hot times, cold times, but in that temperate time, they're gonna use their energy differently, and so they can better propagate their species. They can feed better. They can hide better. Okay. But then we have to think about, well, okay, if the predators aren't feeding at those daylight nighttime time, they too are going to tend to become a little more crepuscular because that's when their food is out.
Okay.
But they still don't see quite as well as they do in the daytime or nighttime. So they're so still the animals that are crepuscular will have a little bit better camouflage, better shelter, things like that. So they're safer. So
that makes good sense.
Yeah.
Go out and hunt when you're safe, right?
Exactly.
Or go out and do
food.
stuff when you're safe.
I mean, we feel better going out during the daytime, right? Not being out necessarily at night because we can see better. And
makes sense.
Makes a little more sense to us.
This is awesome.
Safety, yeah. So just when you're out running the trails or hiking or biking, you know, if you're out early beating the crowd or the heat, just be aware that there's some animals out there. So
right, and then the question becomes: do we make more noise because we don't want to bother the cougar, or do we make less noise because we don't want to bother the cougar, the fox, right? Something, right?
Yeah. Well, you just got to kind of make that choice. You know, you definitely want them to know you're there. So if you do get close to their den or something, that they can protect themselves, and you can move away from that. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is good advice.
Yeah.
All right, we got to ask you some important things because I know spring is here.
Yeah.
So we're starting to see stuff. You guys are starting to open stuff up.
Yep.
Is the golf course open yet?
Golf courses are open. Mountain course will open in a week or two.
All right.
But lake course, gold course, silver course is open.
They're open.
Yep.
Okay. Camping.
Beautiful courses. Camping, we have our first come first serve sites. Cottonwood are the only ones open.
Okay.
May 1st we'll open the rest of them probably, and then reservations start.
Wow.
Same with Jordanelle and Deer Creek. They have some campgrounds open, mostly first come first serve right now.
Wow.
So you know, Easter weekend's coming up, so that'll probably be a big weekend. But most likely, you know, it's not going to be full. You know, you never know.
It's happening fast.
Yeah. Yep. And we have our cabins open. We're gonna fun things coming up this summer. We're gonna do, it's our 60th anniversary for state parks, right?
State parks.
Yeah. So we're gonna have at Wasatch. We're doing a tag fish contest. So every week from May 25th through August 18th ish. Right in there.
Okay.
5 fish are going to be planted in the pond.
Every week.
Every week.
Throw 5 new ones
different.
Okay.
5 more fish, tagged fish. So if you pull one of those fish out, you bring the tag in, you get a prize from many of the different businesses around the valley,
That's
Beaver Valley.
great.
And then on the 19th of August, we're having a big party. So when you win a tag, when you catch a tag, that goes into a big pot, and then we'll draw a grand prize, and it'll probably be hopefully like a camping set of, you know, tent, sleeping bag, stove,
everything you need.
Yeah, to get out, fishing poles to get out and fish.
Sounds pretty good.
So great time to fish. Great time to go visit the parks. We have our friends at Wasatch. They actually have adopted our Pine Creek Trail, which if people want to adopt a trail in the park, they can do that. But Earth Day is coming up on the 22nd, which is a Saturday. Probably will rain, but that's what happens on Earth Day.
Yeah,
Yep.
Exactly.
But they're going to come
of the
out,
earth with the
and
rain.
that's right. They're going to come out and clean up the Pine Creek Trail. So if people want to get involved in that, we'll have trail days all through the summer that people can get out and work on the trails with us.
Awesome.
And then on the 29th, we're actually starting a trail patrol program called the Dirt Patrol.
Oh boy!
For hikers, bikers, and OHV users at Wasatch, and we're going to have a training on April 29th, and we're going to bring Life Flight in. They're going to land on the golf course and talk to us about how we would land a helicopter if we need to call Life Flight to get people out. So that'll be pretty exciting. So people can just get a hold of me or at the park, you know.
As always.
Yeah.
This is great.
Sign up for that. Yeah.
Kathy
so we have
Donnell,
a lot of things coming up.
Wasatch Mountain State Park. Tons of stuff coming up. Spring is really on its way at this point. The foxes are out, so make sure that you have your, well, what would you say? Excuse me, deer goggles on, or fox goggles, as it were. And make sure you're prepared in the twilight. Thanks so much.
Good.
Much more to come right after these messages.